Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems again, and welcome back to MX vs ATV All Out, where we are continuing on with our 2020 season pass of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship DLC. Southwick is out today, May 28th, and we're going to be playing Southwick here right about meow, as I am having troubles remembering how to change my camera view. Did I just have an idiot? Nope, there we go. Alright, so Southwick, yep. This is a sand track. This is a brutal sand track in real life, and in this game, it's pretty brutal as well, I would say. It's obviously new to the season pass package or whatever. Like, it was not in the season pass last year for the Nationals DLC, so it's another new track, another new release. These are coming out basically every Thursday. If you guys haven't already watched the first video where I explained the season pass DLC, it is $19.99. You get 11 Nationals plus Loretta Lynn's right off the bat, and the 12th National, which isn't coming right away but will eventually come in the fall, is Fox Raceway. So getting all 12 Nationals updated for the 2020 season plus Loretta Lynn's $19.99. We've been over this, so if you guys would like it, you can definitely go ahead and take a look at it and try to get it or whatever. But this is Southwick. We're taking a look at the Wick 338 today, doing a little bit of free ride on it. And yeah, like I said, this is a sand track. It's a really, really rough sand track. And right off the bat, like the overarching theme of this track that I can already tell is it's just bumps everywhere, which is very true to Southwick. Like, that is what Southwick is like, even in like the early morning hours when they're still just kind of wearing in the track during practice and stuff like that. It gets bumpy pretty quick, and then by the end of the day, it's just gigantic sand whoops everywhere. So definitely not like wrong at all. There's, you know, a lot of realism with how many bumps and ruts and stuff like that all over the track there are. But I will say, with this track and kind of pertaining to this game, this is just my opinion. I know it's not going to be everybody's opinion, but I think that this track and braking bumps, or this game, I should say, and braking bumps don't go together at all. So when you have a track that is nothing but bumps like this, it's not really that fun, because it's really just kind of like a pain in the butt, I would say, to try to control the bike around the entire track. Like, it's a challenge, so I guess in that aspect, like, if you want something that's kind of challenging and fun to test yourself with in this game, this track is good for that, because it's basically just a lot of, you know, trying to maneuver these bumps and find the smoothest line and arc your corners and different things like that. But it's not really fun. But Southwick in real life is not necessarily like fun either. I think a couple laps on Southwick is probably pretty fun, blowing up some berms and laying into the sand and stuff like that. But the second you start doing a moto, it gets grueling pretty fast, as do most sand tracks. So I'm not saying it needs to be fun. I'm just saying that, like, if you're trying to play this track and think like, oh, this will be a lot of fun, personally for me, it just doesn't go well with the braking bumps and all that business. So not really a fan of that there. But I do really, really love like how they've decided to build this track. They, you know, pretty much didn't hold back from trying to replicate the realism with how big the ruts form in each of these corners. And like the Buckley berm down here always has some nice big ruts in it. Usually just like one big one inside and one big one outside though. So that's a little bit of a bummer, because that would have kind of been cool to blow up the Buckley berm a little bit. But yeah, the rest of the track, just gnarly big bumps kind of everywhere that you can think. And yeah, Southwick, gnarly track. A lot of fun though. I like in Sim and other games that I've played Southwick on, I've always had fun dealing with the challenge of Southwick, and I feel no different about it with this game. Like, it's definitely a unique element of this game that I've never really, I guess, experienced before. Like, yes, some tracks have like big braking bumps that you have to deal with in this game, but for the most part, they tried to release tracks and make tracks for this game that, you know, give you a break every once in a while, and you can throw some big whips, and there's some relatively decently flowy sections of the racetrack. But Southwick isn't really meant to be that. It's just meant to be gnarly and brutal, and that's exactly how they built it. So for that aspect of it, I just really do appreciate that they did stick with the actual realism aspect of it, and didn't say like, well, let's try to make it, you know, it's Southwick, it is the Southwick layout and all that, but let's just make it 100% fun and make it smooth and jumpy instead of gnarly and bumpy. So kudos to them for not shying away from the gnarliness of it. Whoa, where did this reset me? Oh, okay. Well, I'm going the wrong way, but this is actually a good thing because I wanted to go backwards on this track a couple laps. Longtime motocross fans will know that Southwick has changed directions several times. I think the most recent change in directions was when it came back on the schedule in 2017, because it went off the schedule at the end of 2013, and it was this way. So this was the way it was when it went off the schedule back then, but then it came back and they had switched directions and changed the finish line, jump location, and a couple other things. So I just wanted to ride the track backwards, not because I think it's like meant to be ridden backwards or anything like that, but since I'm in free ride and since this is a track that normally does get twisted around a little bit, I just kind of wanted to show it off in that aspect just a little bit. Personally speaking, I've always actually enjoyed it this direction as opposed to the other way. I don't know, I like the flow of this direction of the track a little bit better. I feel like you carry a lot more speed in a lot of sections and stuff like that. I think like maybe right here is like the one part of the track that it's a little bit bad because then you're just like launching a flat in a couple areas and stuff like that. But coming through here and then going up to the top here, going through Buckley Berman, all this stuff, like it's nice that the flow of this track in this direction just feels better to me. I don't know like how to, I guess, fully describe it, but I like it this way. The other way is actually, I think, probably more synonymous with Southwick. I think, you know, late 80s or in the 80s and into the 90s and stuff like that with Southwick, the other direction, which is the common direction it goes now, was the way it went, and the finish line jump was in the back of the track instead of kind of closer to the start line like it is now. And this section was entirely different and all this stuff like that. So it's definitely changed through the years, which is kind of, I guess, one of the more unique aspects to it. Is it's not one of those tracks that's just kind of set in stone and never changes. It does do a lot of different things every now and then. But again, personally speaking, I always just did really like it in this direction. Like the old layout back in like 2012-ish. Really like that layout a lot. And yeah, just kind of personal opinion. Whoa, what the heck just happened? So this map actually is a lot bigger than just the racetrack. You see the racetrack, you get the gist. If you want to ride it, you understand it. It's bumpy, it's gnarly, it's crazy. But the map itself goes beyond just the track. It's got this whole other section over here, which we're going to go explore in just a second. But I wanted to, before we go explore over here, show you just like a couple, I guess they would be Easter eggs or something like that. Because I've been searching around this track a little bit, just trying to find some other stuff, and came across a few funny things. So over here, there's a bulletin board that I believe is actually a real bulletin board in real life at this track. And it's got this notice sign up here, and it says, "This board is to be used for official notices only. No video game text allowed here," which is already kind of funny. But if you look down at the bottom level, you can see it says, "This text is not to be read. Do not read under any circumstances. Thank you for taking the time to read this." It's just like, kind of like a funny thing that they added. Like, you would totally miss this in the entire scheme of the track if you didn't stop to like just take a quick glance at that. But it's kind of funny how they added that in right there. And then I'll go show you another kind of, I don't know if you call these Easter eggs so much as they're just kind of like little nuanced pieces of the track that's kind of funny. But up here in the tower, there's a couple other cool things. So I must be dumb, but I don't feel like I've ever remembered the ability to go under these tunnels, which is kind of cool that they added that in, because that seems like something that I just absolutely don't remember at all. But over here, we have a snack bar, and the snack bar has a dude in it. There's a dude in this snack bar right here. Let me actually go to the other side so that we can read what's on the menu here. But I thought this was kind of funny too when I was just kind of like searching around and I saw that the dude was there, and then I wanted to take a look at the menu, so I scrolled over and took a look at it. Oh, I'm on this side. We'll go over to this side, back away a little bit. So there's a little Rainbow Studios employee there. There's not really much going on inside of there. There's like a grill or something, I don't know. Anyway, the menu, oh, let me scooch this way a little bit so we can read the menu a little bit easier. What's going on? There we go. Whoa, what's happening? What is happening? What the heck? Camera is freaking out. So, freshly prepared all natural food. I don't really know what this restaurant or snack bar is. I've never been to Southwick, so I don't really know what's normally here. But what's interesting is there's just Mexican food essentially here. I don't know what it says exactly in the upper left hand. I think that says arepas maybe, and then patacones, and then empanadas, and cachapas maybe, and then you got snacks, desserts, drinks, extras. Can't read what exactly each menu item is. Maybe no, I can't read that either, but I don't know, like Mexican food in Southwick, which is in Massachusetts, or up that way, you know. And so I thought that was kind of peculiar that there'd be Mexican food there. Like I kind of associate like that area of our country with like seafood, maybe like lobster or something like that. So you'd think they'd have like some sort of lobster snack bar maybe, but no, they have Mexican food here at Southwick. So there you go, a little kind of funny Easter egg. Let's continue to explore around and check out a couple different areas. We'll go out of the actual track here in just a second. Ooh, jumping down the hill. All right, so we go over here, and behind the start line, there's a couple buildings up here, but nothing interesting up there, and you actually can't get up there. But if we go under this tunnel, just plow into it real quick. Come out the other side. Got to weave through some trees here a little bit. Drop down, and then you end up on this cool little track back here. Like, it's really just like another track that's added onto this. It's like a little single track, but it's really fun. It's got this kind of whoop section that goes through back here, and then you hop over this river or this creek, whatever you want to call it, and you could turn left there, or you could keep going into the back, and you got this fun little table that floats into the back section. Kind of have to weave through the trees back here. It's kind of moseying around. And kind of swing down through here, and then you have another big kind of jump thing, double I guess you'd call it, and then another jump across the river. Ooh, got that wrong though. And then you turn right, and it just kind of loops back on itself. Another little river crossing here, but there's like all these little river crossings all through this back section, and just like a nice little cool extra track that they made. They didn't need to make this, and they did. So it's kind of cool. Like, it's got some fun jumps. I was just talking about how it's a brutally rough track, and like if you came to this track expecting to have fun, you wouldn't because of how rough that track is. Well, they added some fun in the back section here. They added a cool little extra track that has big jumps, so you can throw some whips and feel like you're kind of enjoying the game instead of just getting beat up by the Southwick sand day after day. And just really kind of a cool addition to this back section. Now, I did search around back here and look for a couple other things, but I couldn't find any Easter eggy type things, so I guess I could kind of take the time now to keep searching around and looking at a couple different things back here. It does actually go over this way somewhat far, but it doesn't... Ooh, that's going to be a crash. It doesn't actually have, like... What's the word here? Anything really over here, like other than just terrain. A couple other things that you can look at, some water. Then the map runs out. I think it actually goes back here a little ways too. Cross over here. Oh, nope. Whoops, the daisies. All right, so yeah, I am at the edge of the map, and you can see where I just came from. Yeah, there's nothing really like in these trees over here or anything like that. We already took a look at the track, obviously. I'll keep riding this direction though, just so we can take a look at it, I guess, a little bit more. Some kind of like rain ruts up in the hill up here. Kind of go through here. Nothing really in these trees though, and this is gonna bang me off the wall. I always like, when I play these maps, I always try to find just cool little details that you may have missed off the track, which is why I wanted to show you those two little like Easter eggs that have writing on them. But over here is just kind of, I don't know, just a bunch of like more land. There's not really anything crazy over here. Obviously, once we get back to this side of the track, so this is where like the pits and the mechanics area would be at the top of the hill, but it is the edge of the map, as you can see. So straight ahead of me up there would be mechanics areas and all that stuff like that. In fact, you guys probably remember the famous moment where Ryan Dungey, his mechanic Mike Gosler, comes flying down this hill after the second moto at Southwick in 2011 had already started. And then he stops like right here-ish or so, and Ryan jumps on the bike, stalls the bike, and which was a thing because they'd been working on the bike the whole time trying to get it to run, and it wasn't. And so it's like, oh crap, he stalled it, it's not going to work. So then he gets on it, one kicks it, and goes, and then comes flying in through staging and back onto the racetrack, just in time before Justin Barsha across the finish line jumped to finish lap number 1, or else Ryan would have been disqualified. And he finished 7th that moto, which is absolutely mental how good he rode that day. But in the end, it did actually contribute to costing him the championship a little bit. He would have still lost it had he won that moto, but that year he also had a DNF at Freestone in the second moto when he ran out of fuel, which is a very rare occurrence in our sport, obviously. And so take those two situations out, and Ryan Dungey's the 2011 outdoor champion. Crazy to think about that. But yeah, just Southwick. I'm trying to think if there's any other things that I kind of missed to discuss about the track. I just ran into an area here that I don't want to be in. I'm gonna get stuck in here. Crap. Is there a way out of here? Let me see if I can just bunny hop. No. Am I really about to be stuck in this little pad with no way out? There's got to be a way, right? Oh, there's a opening in the fence up here. Just hop through right here. Or not. I keep getting stuck like a complete idiot on these tracks. Alright, that's it. Screw it. I'm going through the tunnels. I'm being like a normal race fan and actually utilizing the tunnels that they use to get you to the infield of the racetracks. So we'll go through all the tunnels so you can see all the tunnels on this track. Woohoo! Alright, so now we're out here. Apparently that's out of bounds. Okay, never mind. I was going to ride on that road and was going to ride over here, but can't do that. Can I ride against this fence line? Or is it going to kick me out again? Well, it's letting me do it just barely. I am barely within the boundaries here. This barn thing over here is out of bounds, so I can't go check that out, unfortunately. There's this little kiosk thing over here, which actually I'll turn around and go into the track so that we can take a look at it, because it's got the Wick logo on it. Dropping down in here. This is the old finish line stand, actually. So this is where the finish line used to be at this section of the racetrack. And you got the Wick 338 sign here. I think you can actually go up in here. Yeah, just kind of hang out here at the old finish line stand. Kind of cool. And let me get spun around here, or just back out of it, I guess. Then go across the track over here. And I did actually try to get in this area, but it actually just resets you. So kind of interesting there. But yeah, this is Southwick, folks. I think a lot of people enjoy this track. I'm glad to see that it made it on to MX vs. ATV's track list essentially this year, because it wasn't last year. I'm glad to see all 12 nationals, of course, but this one was really cool just because it's such a unique track on our schedule. It's not just like another, big jump and a few turns here and there kind of track. It's a sand track, like we don't have really sand tracks on our schedule, really. So I was excited to see this, and I think a lot of people, New England moto fans, would be pretty excited to see this one as well. So happy for you guys to be able to get it, and I'm going to try to get up on top of this roof to finish the video, but I'm probably going to fail miserably at this. I definitely already did it once. Why am I sucking at it right now, though? All right, let me get a little bit bigger of a run here. Maybe that's going to help. I already tried that once, but maybe trying it again. Oh, fell off. I landed on this plateau, though. Damn. What did I do? How did I get it the first time? I definitely have been up here already. Let's see if I can just land on that plateau. Oh, I actually clipped onto the roof there, but didn't work. Oh man, I gotta land on the brakes. Oh, I was totally in the plateau that time. All right, let's back up a little bit and set a waypoint marker. So maybe I can get enough run. Well, hit the pole thing. There it is. All right, good gravy. Took me forever to get up here, but I made it. And yeah, that is Southwick and MX vs. ATV All Out. You guys can download this track, or if you haven't already got the pack, you can download the track. If you already have the pack, it should auto-update today on May 28th, so you guys can play it now. And definitely get it. It's a fun track. I enjoyed this one. Try it out for yourself. See what it's like. And I hope you guys enjoyed stopping by, checking out another video here on SYS. As always, appreciate you guys stopping by. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.